You start a new habit. Maybe it's the gym, or journaling, or going for a morning walk before you open your phone. For the first 10 days, it feels incredible. Every time you do it, there's this tiny, undeniable click of pride. Then you hit week 3. Day 21 rolls around, and suddenly the activity feels like nothing. The streak is technically still alive, but the emotional warmth is completely gone. You sit there wondering why you bothered to start in the first place. Most self-help advice ignores this specific emotional void entirely. You're told to lower friction, stack your triggers, or find your purpose. Those tactics help get a routine off the ground, but they don't explain what to do when the routine stops paying you back. This hollow feeling signals your brain is executing its exact biological programming. This scale illustrates a neurological concept called reward prediction error. When something good happens that you did not predict, your brain fires a burst of dopamine. That chemical release acts as a teaching signal. It's your brain realizing the world gave you more than expected and telling you to remember exactly how you got it. Think about day 1 of a new workout. You expected to feel tired and grumpy, but you ended up feeling sharp. Because the actual outcome beat the expectation, the scale tips heavily. You register a positive prediction error, and your brain delivers that motivating burst of dopamine. Now run that exact same workout 20 times. By the 20th rep, your brain is no longer surprised. It expects you to feel sharp, you actually feel sharp, and the math works out to 0. The prediction error vanishes and the dopamine shuts off. The physical behavior hasn't changed at all. The outcome is identical to day 1. The emotional reward is gone, simply because your nervous system has learned exactly what to expect. The technical name for this is hedonic adaptation. It's a survival feature that forces the brain to flatten the familiar so it can budget its attention for what is new or uncertain in the environment. To see how aggressively this mechanism works, we can look at a 1978 study led by Philip Brickman. Researchers compared everyday people to a group who had recently won massive state lottery prizes. The data revealed a stark reality. Within roughly a year, those lottery winners rated their general happiness no higher than the everyday control subjects. The windfall was real, but the bar for what felt good shifted upward to match it. The researchers also looked at a third group, people who had become paralyzed in severe accidents. Over time, these accident victims also reverted back toward baseline happiness levels, proving the human capacity to normalize massive physical disruption. If hedonic adaptation can successfully neutralize a multi-million-dollar win and soften severe physical trauma, it will effortlessly erase the joy of a simple morning routine. This diagram shows the hedonic adaptation prevention model, or HAP. It maps out how a new habit degrades, illustrating that your motivation leaks out through 2 distinct pathways simultaneously. First is the bottom-up leak. The positive emotions you feel simply drain away. Your 30th morning walk is just a walk. The activity stops generating hits of joy because it no longer provides your brain with any new information. Second is the top-down leak, where your aspirations inflate. 3 weeks ago, writing 10 minutes a day was your ideal scenario. Now it's the bare minimum, and your brain decides the new target is writing for 30 minutes while waking up at 5. Feeling empty at week 3 is a result of these 2 normal psychological processes quietly draining the meaning out of your work. Neurological research offers a useful perspective on this drop-off. As a behavior becomes automated, your brain deliberately requires less dopamine to run it. Early on, dopamine reinforces the link between the trigger and the action. Over time, the neural pathway gets so efficient that it can function without that heavy chemical reward in the loop. This means the sudden lack of dopamine is actual proof that the neural pathway is working. The flat line is biological confirmation that the habit is permanently locking into your nervous system. You do not need a massive routine overhaul to survive this phase. The research identifies 2 specific moderators that slow this process down: variety and appreciation. Variety handles the bottom-up leak. You keep the core action the same, but change the texture or context. Read in a different chair. Run a different route. By altering the surface-level conditions, you generate a small prediction error for your brain, which buys you another stretch of attention. Appreciation targets the top-down leak. This is the active accounting of acknowledging that you now possess the exact routine past you wanted. It forces your brain to register the win and interrupts the instinct to slide the goalposts further away. These adjustments anchor a 90-second weekly protocol. Ask yourself 2 simple questions. First, what is one small thing I can change inside my habits this week so they aren't identical to last week? Second, what is one habit I already have that past me would have been thrilled to own? Passing through the flat line means you are entering the maintenance phase. It is the quiet, boring middle part of the journey, but it is the exact space where long-term life change is actually forged.